Hey there. Welcome to 93 weeks, I think. I'm not sure anymore. I can't keep track. I think it's 93 weeks of Supercharged Fridays. Hashtag Supercharged Fridays. Welcome. Come in the comments. If you're new here, where have you been? Like we've got to hang out together. I'm live every single week on Friday at the same time, and it's been going on for 93 weeks. And we talk about all things career. If we haven't met, nice to meet you. My name is Sonal Behel. I'm a career strategist. And if you're watching, I would love a little feedback if you can hear me and see me properly. Because I am not, as you can tell, if you're regular, you can tell I'm not at my usual home location. I'm traveling, so I'm relying on good old fashioned Wi-Fi. I don't have an Ethernet cable, so hopefully you can hear me, you can see me. Is there a delay? What's going on? I don't see a single comment, so would be lovely if you can let me know that you're here. And if you have questions, come in and jump in the comments, say a quick hello, and we shall get started. So, I know there's always a delay. I'm going to wait it out just for a second or so. Ah, yeah, I see a comment. Iris, good morning. You're there. Wonderful. I'm never really sure if it's working or not. So it's great that you are here. I am all by myself today because October has, I don't know if you guys noticed, October has 5 Fridays. So we have been live the last 4 Fridays with wonderful guests. And we've talked about so many things that I felt like we need a week to just recuperate, right? We have talked about the first week was imposter syndrome. Where does it come from? How is it different from confidence or arrogance? Then week two, in October, we talked about personality tests, particularly strength based personality tests. Some of them are available for free, and how they are helpful in weaving your career story together with the lovely Diana Alt. And the first week, imposter syndrome was with Malika Simmons. If you watched it, what were your takeaways? Ideas not to attend and then forget, right? Ideas obviously to learn and to grow together. Our third week was with the wonderful Brendan Kumarasamy on powerful interview performance, which means your content and delivery. And he showed us, literally A and B. This was average to below average. The other one was powerful. And how do you do that? And the fourth week, which was last week, was with Kolarelli Sunaike, who is not only an employment lawyer, but also communication coach. And we talked about the law side of things, about COVID, and how maybe if your company is forcing you to go back to the physical office and you don't feel ready, or if you've been laid off and it's not been fair, or so many things we talked about. It was such a useful session. So all of these four, you can go back. If you're watching on LinkedIn, go to hashtag Supercharged Fridays. You'll find all of them, and they're also available, always available on my YouTube channel as well. So I'm going to say hello. Thank you for joining, Iris and Reshma. Pranav, good morning, Rich. I'm guessing it's morning for you. Bikram, Risto, Aleta, LinkedIn user. I don't have your name. G, good morning, my dear friend. Fantastic. I'm going to get to your questions immediately without any further ado. Deepak Gurbir, lovely to see you guys. Tokir, Dipankar, Varshni, Amit. When I'm alone, I like to do a quick little shout out. It's so nice that you guys are here. Thank you for spending some time together. I really, really appreciate it. And advanced happy Diwali. So next week we're gonna do a little Diwali special. I'm gonna be by myself. I'm as you can tell, I'm traveling. I'm in London. We're visiting cousins, and next week also I will be here. So let's dress up. If you guys are watching next week, Indian origin, or you just appreciate good holidays, dress up for Diwali. We'll just have some fun together. I'll just dress up in some Indian clothes, nothing fancy. Today's Halloween. I have no Halloween costume. I apologize. So fantastic. All right. Laura has a question already, and we are going to dive right in. Laura, may I know what is the best professional course to kickstart a career in finance? Laura, I don't know the details of finance, right? It shouldn't matter. Now, there are two different things. One is you can speak to a finance professional, and I would recommend this route. What does this mean? Let's say you see someone who's a friend of yours, or you've been following this person on LinkedIn, and maybe they're 3, 4 steps ahead of you. My recommendation would be to reach out to this person, learn a little bit about their career backstory, and if they have any recommendations for this type of question, right? That is one way to do it. The other way to do it is maybe calculate backwards. Look at the jobs that interest you, right? You're going to see on LinkedIn Jobs, Indeed, Monster, you'll see a lot of options out there. What are the job titles, right? And then look at the job vacancy, the description, and there they're going to have their criteria of what they're looking for. Now, be careful with the criteria. On the surface, you'll see everything looks like important, right? But there'll be a must have and there'll be a desirable nice to have. Look at what is a must have, right, in terms of skills and requirements, and then see what are the courses that can help you to address those skills. Now, keep in mind two things when it comes to learning. It's only, keep, what is that, 70-20-10. I think, G, if you're watching, this. In HR we talk about it. Most of the learning happens in the real world, like being out there, on the job training, etc. So that's 70%. 20% of the remaining learning happens with a mentor, learning from a mentor or a coach or someone that you can closely learn from. And it's only 10% that happens in a classroom environment / courses, etc. So you want to have a combination of all of these to get ahead. I hope that helps you. And we are gonna move on to the next one. Deepak, how do you have a career in European countries? Okay, Deepak, this is a very popular question. How do I go abroad? I want to broaden my horizons, right? That makes a lot of sense. And I think that everyone should, at some point or the other, broaden their horizons, see other cultures and different ways of living, different ways of working. Deepak, the easiest way to do it is through your own company. That's the easiest. That is the most frictionless way to move from location A to location B. The other ways to do it are possible. I'm not saying they're not possible, but they are harder. And that involves applying to jobs, or you have a friend of a friend or some contact, somebody who can make an introduction. Now, keep in mind, for a company to get someone from outside is a very expensive investment, and they have to justify it to senior management. And the way they can do that is if they are looking for a skill set, which is rare, and you have that, for example, or you learn it very quickly. I have done it. I've hired people from all over the world when I was working in different companies. And it only makes sense to hire that type of person when that skill is rare. So that is the second way. The third way, which I think is much easier, is to go abroad to study. Because when you study, typically your visa extends for a little bit of time so you can start working, right? And that is what I have done. The fourth way is follow, if you are married or you have a partner, follow that person who has. I've done that as well. But studying is the one that has been most sustainable for me, because I've worked abroad, studied abroad, and that gave the opportunity to stay on in that country. And I hope that helps. All the best to you, Deepak, right? And I see that CA. So, all right. Let's see. Tokir, why do companies not give a chance to graduates? I'm guessing you're talking about fresh graduates. Tokir, I don't know. It's a pity. Those are maybe not necessarily the right companies for you, because they're looking for someone who has a little bit more experience, right? So you want to work with companies which hire all sorts of people, right? If they're looking for only experienced people and they're not looking at fresh graduates, it's very difficult to change their mind. You can do that. You can try a few times, but at the end of the day, focus on others. There are many others that will hire you without work experience. All right. So, Varshni, the same answer will apply for you. Varun, sorry. I think your name is Varun or Varshni. I'm not sure. The same answer that I gave Deepak will apply to you as well. Arun Kumar, you're very welcome. I'm so happy that it was helpful. What else? Hi, Anu. Hi, Sue. Hello. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the kind words. Hey, G, you have a question for me. Thank you. I'm sure you can also share the answers. Can you share your perspective on accepting LinkedIn connections? Wow, I love this question, including generic invites. Okay. G, I used to be that person who accepted all connection requests. All of them. Think of a hoarder who just collects, and suddenly you realize there's no space in the house. That's what's happened with me. I'm reaching this connection limit. Actually, that's not true. The connection limit is 30,000. I am connected to far fewer people. But what I have decided to do now is to be more picky. Okay. Now, I've posted about maybe 8 or 9 posts in the last 1.5 years on how to send a connection request, like the basic, and I'm still getting generic invites. There's a good possibility they either don't know, they haven't seen these posts of mine, or they don't know in general, or there's a LinkedIn glitch where even though my profile is set to follow, people are still connecting, which means that I don't know. I think John Experience said that sometimes even if you say follow, it shows as connect. So there's a LinkedIn glitch, right? And it's not my fault. But what I've started doing is when I get generic connection requests and I can see a lot of them, I posted something about like getting 565 in the last 2 weeks ago. If you haven't seen that post, check it out because I've now put in a strict methodology in place. I don't accept anymore. If the person has bothered to write a little bit of a message why they want to connect with me, I will accept it. Unless there's a pitch there, then I will not. I will just say, thank you so much. This is not something I'm interested in. I wish you the best. But otherwise, if the person has bothered writing something, then I will connect. Now, when they write something, that doesn't mean it's a great request. But, I'm like picky already as it is. So I don't bother. But I will see very average or below average connection requests which says, hi, Sonal, let's connect, or let's add value to each other's network. What does that mean? Right? But I'll still accept it because the person bothered to type something and it's not a bot. But anything that's generic, I will, if I'm feeling a little generous, I will, when somebody sends you a connection request, I believe you can send a message saying, hey, thanks for reaching out. What prompted you to connect? If they reply, I will accept it. But if they don't reply, it's gone. So keep in mind, guys, please may personalize it. Because if you send a connection request, the other person refuses, you don't come to know firstly that they refused it. You can only send another connection request to the same person, which is personalized, because you're like, oh, I didn't know that. You can only do that, I believe, I'm not sure, I think 3 weeks later. So you don't want to waste that opportunity. But my answer, TLDR, I don't connect with blank connection requests anymore. I'm not looking at, if I had, I would probably be, at like 35,000 by now followers, because if for many people it's a number and vanity game. And for me, it's not anymore. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, fantastic. How do you get into a multinational company, Rohan? So I'm guessing that you want in a smaller company, you want to get into a larger company. Look at those jobs out there. See who you know there. Go through the back doors. You can apply, but you can also do other things at the same time. See who you know there, ask for introductions, ask for informational interviews. Never say you want a job. Build up your network there. It's going to work out, but you just got to keep at it, And this is a short answer. I've talked about this in so many live streams. You can go and see a little bit in the past, and you can also see my YouTube channel where I have specific videos on how to get a job fast. And there are like 20, 30 tips in there that you're going to get more information from. Hey, Ashish, I have an account on Placement India. Okay, I don't know what that is. So on 6th September, a company from Canada emailed me that they're interested in my profile and that they told me to send the CV and job application form. I submitted it on the 10th. Okay. My application was accepted on the 14th and they mailed me the offer, but they haven't interviewed me. I'm confused. Ashish, quick answer. I don't know the details. This is a very quick first impression. It sounds like a scam. There is a possibility they're going to ask you for money. Now, if they haven't interviewed you and they emailed you a letter with a salary of 18,500 monthly Canadian dollars, it sounds like a scam. I don't know anybody who sends an offer if they haven't interviewed you. It sounds like they haven't interviewed you. So just run for the hills, please. And it could also be a scam from a internet scraping data. Stay away. Okay. For a mid-level or senior level professional in professions as specific or legal or paralegal, being part of a legal system in countries outside of India. Okay. I think quick answer. I talked about going abroad. You can go back and watch the replay if you haven't done so already. But when it comes to legal, when you go abroad, there's a very good possibility that certain countries don't recognize your legal degree. It's a pity, I know, but they don't. So you might have to retake that degree, which is many more years and lots of money spent again. But apparently, there is one way to do it. You have to check and do your due diligence and see if those countries accept um, your degree. Is it recognized? Is it recognized in the system? All right. Yeah, not anymore, G. I have improved and I have reformed. Hey, Arif, could you please share your take on hiring medical professionals such as paramedics in the UK? How can one prepare for HR rounds? I would say just, Arif, it's the same preparation as with all interviews. You got to be very thorough. You got to see what they're looking for. Check out Glassdoor, check out internet. There are a lot of forums out there where people share this type of information, sometimes, and there's a lot of valuable information. So go to good old fashioned Google, but also see if you have friend of a friend in your network who can help you with the type of questions that are typically asked. But I would say in general, prepare the way you would prepare for most interviews, which is hours and hours of research so that you know about the organization, you know about how things work, you know about patient care, all of that stuff, right? Good luck to you. Hey, Salim. I'm currently working as a contract employee and it's been 3.5 months. I faced rough experience, no salary, 15 days in August and September. Okay, there are delays as well. Due to no timesheet approval and billable codes, they promised that they will transfer, but still no response. I cracked the first round in a different company. Monday is the final round. Is it okay to search and get it? Of course you are. No, there's nothing wrong. Salim, put your career first. Okay? Please. Please. I beg you. You don't owe them anything. If they treat you like dirt, you have to go where you are appreciated, not tolerated. Please repeat. You have to go where you are celebrated, appreciated, not where you are tolerated. Okay. If they are treating you the way this is the way, imagine running a household if you don't have regular income coming in. My gosh, I can't even imagine that. Do what you need to do, serve the formal notice period, do things right, never burn bridges, but get the heck out of here. I'm sorry. This would be my quick, quick response. Generic requests are not cool. They're never cool. No, they're honestly waste of your energy, waste of your time. It's not worth it. Vashni, you're welcome. Could you please share your take on? Okay, I think I've seen that one already. Apologies. If you've already written a question, make sure you don't repeat it, because if you repeat it, I'm going to get inundated and I'm not going to be able to see the others. Nope, same answer as was given earlier. Vashni, check that one out. Hey, Pranav, how do you pick a mentor if your management is different in your new role? Any specific views on client management role? How do you pick a mentor if your management, that's okay. Look at people who are in those departments, who are known, who have a good reputation, right? They're in, if you want to be in a client facing role, look at people who are already doing that. And maybe they're a few steps ahead of you. And so it's very similar to what I said earlier. Go out and reach out to them. Don't use words like, can you be my mentor? Right? It's a bit overwhelming for someone and they'll be like, oh my gosh, what does that mean? What do I need to do? Don't say that. Instead, what you want to do is just have regular chats with them, have coffee with them. They are mentoring, they will be mentoring you. And by the way, they don't even have to be within the same company. There could be people in different companies that you form a relationship. The very hard thing, I think the hardest thing is the first step. How do I reach out, etc. So you reach out saying, I'd love to know a little bit about your career backstory, specifically this and this, because this is where I am today. Most people are good people. Most people have a good heart and they want to help, right? Ask them for 20 minutes of their time, no more, and learn as much as you can and say, would love to keep in touch if that's okay. And if they say yes, that's great. If they say no, move on. You'll find someone else. But this is a great way to start a relationship. And you never know, maybe they have opportunities and they'll think of you first because you're someone who's made a good impression on them, right? All the best. Hey, Shekhar, what difficult situation have you handled? Okay, Shekhar, I have a full video and a live stream on top 5 interview questions and answers. And the 5th one is related to this one, which is behavioral questions. So I highly suggest you go watch that because you're going to get a lot more information over there. And those are related to PAR questions, PAR, problem, action, result. That's an acronym a friend of mine uses, Lee Andrews. And I've given examples over there as well. So you'll get something out of it. Hey, Nikla, what resources do you recommend as a guide to use modifying your CV for the healthcare sector? Okay. I think there will be a ton of information on Google, right? Now, what I recommend you do is, it's very overwhelming when you see all that information. I've put in the best that I can into a playlist of mine on YouTube. So it's resume playlist on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and write Sonal Behel career strategies. You'll find my channel. Check out the playlist. That will give you some idea already. Then, if you want more specific for your sector, you can Google that and see are there certain things which are a little bit different that you need to adjust and tweak to. But in general, I would say if you have a good base format, that should be the way to go. You can show it to a couple of people who are senior in your sector if there is something lacking or it needs adjustment a little bit. And then when you do that, what you want to do is go to a website like jobscan.co, I think. And what you can see is look at the position you're interested in, look at your resume, and they will do, and the AI does a match to see how close are you to that particular position. Because at the end of the day, your resume is not in a vacuum. Your resume is related to the roles that you're interested in. And that's what you want to watch out for. All right. Okay. I'm falling behind. I'm going to move a little bit faster because I don't want to be online for too long. I'm, as I mentioned earlier, I'm on holiday, so family is waiting at the back. On a resume, do you add temporary promotions, and where does it go? I would add temporary promotions. I would add temporary roles as well, and you can write temporary role. Put it in the right order, Iris. That's what I would do. And chronologically put it in the right order. It doesn't have to be a paragraph. It can be a very short line with the same format, duration, which company, all of that stuff. And you don't have to, you can write, what I typically do with my clients is in brackets AI, add interim, which means it's not a permanent position. But I would put it in the chronology. Most effective connection request. Risto, you know this. You know this. Okay. I was so careful today because I'm 1 hour behind Belgium. It's instead of 2 p.m. for me, it's 1 p.m. here. It was shift in my head. How do you use LinkedIn in IT industry? How can we use LinkedIn at its best? Okay, Preetham, check out my YouTube channel. I have an entire playlist only on LinkedIn. I have 4, 5, 6, 7 in videos, and they only talk about LinkedIn. The best way to start is look at if you're looking at jobs, LinkedIn has a tab. When you go to LinkedIn, it has a tab. It says jobs. Use the search engine. They have a filter, very strong search filter with details. Look at the sector IT, look at companies, look at people you know who used to be in this particular company before, and see there's so much you can do. So definitely check out the playlist. LinkedIn is a great resource for everybody, not just for jobs, but also to, engage. So that's conversation, engage with people who you're interested in the right roles, and also confidence. And the third, content, which is your establishing authority. And the fourth is obviously community. So many things you can do with LinkedIn. So you'll find a lot more information there. Okay. Is you the one? Okay. You're appearing as LinkedIn user. Yeah. It's something that is there in your settings, which says that your name will not appear as your first name to third-party users because I'm using a streaming platform. Good morning, Tegan. It's good to see you. Yes, G. Yes, G. I love this quote. I don't remember who said it. I wish I had said it. It's not mine. So nice to see you here, Shubham. Minaz. Hey there. Mohammed Minaz. Wanted to know the idea or best approach joining a new team or new organization. Just wanted to make sure they're all are comfortable seeing me in their team. What you want to do is Minaz, you want a combination of fitting in at the same time standing out. It's a very delicate balance. It's a tightrope that you can definitely walk. What you don't want to do is you don't want to be a wallflower, right? Now they've hired you for a reason. So there's an expression, I think an Indian quote, where we say we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. So what you want to do in those early days and early weeks is learn more, listen more, observe more, speak a little less. I would say half, right? 2 times listening, because It's very common for us to think, but this used to be so much better in my company. Like, this is so different here, or this is nicer here. Sure, comparison is normal. We have a benchmark. But what you want to do here is learn all of that, because when you do speak, you have something to share, you have value, and it's coming from your experience. They paid good money to get you on board. So you want to share that as well. Because if I've seen when people are like, I'm only going to learn and observe and I'm going to keep my mouth shut, then you become like this wallflower, right? And the wallflower syndrome doesn't help anyone. So feel free to put up your hand. And let's say you're in a meeting and it's a project, and they're asking for volunteer. Put up your hand. They'll say, "Ah, this new guy, he doesn't know." Yeah, you will learn. This is a great way to learn, taking up assignments that nobody else wants to do. Why? It's going to force you to go out and ask for meetings, ask for time, and get to know people. And another idea is, for example, lunchtime. Don't eat at your desk. Don't eat alone at the cafeteria, for example. Reach out. There are complete strangers sitting there. I know it's a little bit terrifying, particularly if one is more inward, introverted, etc. Just you're sitting with your plate or whatever. Just say, "Hey, could I join you? I'm new in this company." Most people will say, "Of course," right? I mean, um, unless it's like high school and you have your cliques. In the real world, everybody's a little bit more inclusive. So good luck to you in your new role. I wish you the very best. Okay. Mid-career switches are great. Switching to a completely different field, fantastic, Saurabh. It's a great idea to do it. You need to know why you're doing it, not for the sake of it. Watch a video of mine on YouTube. It's called Career Change. Just write my name on YouTube and write Career Change. You'll find that video. It has 7 detailed steps. It's my vitamin approach, and that'll help you to make that change successfully. Good luck to you. I'm currently in the US pursuing a second master's. Okay, Shobham. I'm still struggling to find jobs and references. I've reached out to hundreds of HRs and recruiters, but it's not helped me. How do I get a full-time job in the US construction? I don't know details about the construction industry or project engineer. I can tell you, though, that Shubham, there is a possibility that something in your resume maybe is not working for you. So if you have the permission to work there and you don't need a sponsor, for example, like, after studying, you typically get a little bit of time to work. That visa is, so if you have that, I would highly recommend that you put that somewhere on top on your resume, because there could be hesitation that you need to be sponsored. And if that is the case, then they feel it's an administrative burden, it's a financial burden, and it's also a huge amount of time, which companies don't have. They want the good person yesterday, right? So that makes sense. I understand where they're coming from. If you don't have permission to work, my dear friend, that is much, much harder for you, because time is ticking. And obviously, all of this. I don't have to add more pressure to you. So what you want to do is check out my resume playlist, for example, on my YouTube channel. Maybe there's something in your resume which is just not grabbing their attention, right? You want to focus, instead of sending hundreds of applications to HR and recruiters. It's a combination of a little bit of a numbers game, yes, quantity, but also quality. You want both, and you want it to be very specifically targeted. Make a list of 30. Make a list of 30 construction companies that you want to work in, and check those out in detail. Check out what they do, check out their website, check out their social media, check out their annual financial report. What are the areas they're struggling in? It's a huge amount of detective work, but it's worth it. Most people don't do this. Instead, what do? They send hundreds of applications, then they say it's not working. So if you're going to spend that kind of time anyway, might as well go detailed, targeted in these companies, and also see who are the people in these companies. What kind of jobs are they advertising? Do you match their requirements? If yes, you've got to grab their attention, right? The resume helps you, but only so far. It helps to get attention. But if the resume is not working, there is a possibility, and you don't know that, right? And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different outcome. We don't want that for you. So people, jobs in those companies, what are those companies' main pain points? You want to see those, make a list of these 30. You're going to be so busy for the next few days, but you'll be a lot more clear, instead of spray and pray shooting, in a dark room without knowing where the bullet is going, if you know what I mean. Wish you huge amount of success, Shubham. All the very best. Good morning, Kevin. Claire, early morning. Good Lord. Like 5:30 for you. I'm very impressed. I know you're an early riser. Hey, Ajinkya, what would be your advice if the offer letter is expected but pending from the company and another company asks you if you have any offer? You can just be honest. Don't have to overthink it. Say yes, there's an offer that's expected. You've got to be clear which one you're interested in. I would say to the second one, sure, but if you're honest, right? Don't be dishonest. Saying I would prefer, because they'll be like, we're wasting our time, right? If you're interested in that second company, then say you're interested in the second company. You can say for the first, if they ask you this question, do you have any offer? You can say, I'm actually in advanced stages. You can say that in advanced stages of recruitment with another company. That's okay. I think it makes you look more desirable. I would do that. Jitin, these days people are publishing so many certifications, credible or not, is taking more and more certifications and piling up positions as a credible professional. Would you love to know your thoughts as an approach? I would say certifications do add credibility, but they are not the only thing. They're one of the pieces of the entire jigsaw, right? You have so many ways to add credibility. You have creating original content, writing a blog on Medium or Thrive Global or LinkedIn, right? And certifications are good when, let's say, you don't have experience in a certain field and you have a certification. That's great because it shows that you're familiar, quite familiar with it. But nothing beats hands-on work experience. That's according to me. And secondly, I wouldn't hoard, like we talked about hoarding connection requests and just accepting anyone. I wouldn't do any certification. I would focus on what moves the needle in my career, not today, but the career I want 2 years from now, 1 year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. I would focus on those and go deep in those, razor sharp in those. And sometimes there are certifications that are given with places like General Assembly, where you also get opportunities to work in the real world. For me, that's much more desirable. For companies, that's much more desirable. So you want to make sure you weigh the two together, because one is theory, one is practice. You don't want only theory and very little practical exposure. This is a quick answer based on my first impression. So, Jitin, hopefully that helps you. All right, I'm going to take a couple of questions and then I'm going to move. Hey, good evening to you. I have an opportunity with a company. As per the HR statement, I have been selected for this. Okay, you'll have to continue your question. I'm sorry, I don't understand where that is going. Nikla, you're very welcome. Good morning, Gurpreet. I think you're in Canada. It's lovely of you to join us. Let's see. Set up your LinkedIn to be user friendly, SEO friendly. That's a great point. Go to your dashboard and look at the number of search appearances that you have. Right. So check out, like I said, the playlist, follow what Gurpreet is saying. That's excellent advice. Just like Google, you have search engine optimization. In LinkedIn, you want to have the right headline. You want to have, so all of that profile, everything, you'll see on, so many posts here on LinkedIn as well as on YouTube, because you want to be searchable. At the end of the day, LinkedIn is a search engine. Many people forget this. But at the end of the day, it's a search engine for who? For recruiters, for people who are looking for someone. And I can't tell you how many times I'm like, how did you find out my profile? I'm like, I was looking for a coach. So I don't like the word career coach. I prefer a career strategist. But in my headline, I write career coach. Why? No one is looking for a career strategist. Similarly, you want to see the job openings out there. What are the headline? Like, what are they looking for? What are those keywords? That's how you define keywords. And you want to have those keywords sprinkled in your headline, sprinkled in your about section, and sprinkled all over your skills section. And why is that? These things are searchable, particularly skills, because there's code behind it. So fantastic. Hokido. Ideal question answer for why do you want to work here after your own startup? It's a good question, Chandan. You can say why you formed the startup to begin with, right? And what you learned, what was your objective, what you learned, what you got out of it. Whatever the result was, share it. Be honest, share it with them. Now, maybe you miss, I don't know. I can't answer that for you because that's you. Maybe you miss working in a team. Maybe it was a bit lonely. And you've wanted this, you had this urge, you had this itch to do it, you've done it. It's out of your system, and now you want to work with a company. Why do you want to do it? Go dig in yourself and find those answers. There's no right or wrong answer. It's only what's right for you. Thank you, Claire. Really appreciate you sharing one of the videos. I think what you do is, what Claire has shared, just literally go to youtube.com/supercharge yourself. That is the quick URL, and you'll find my YouTube channel, but it's also there on my LinkedIn profile. Thank you, Claire. Really appreciate it. For the background, I had a startup. I get that. Absolutely fine. Makes perfect sense. Chandan, it's good to know what you want. It's good to know what you don't want as well. Okay, here's Ayappan, I think. I have an opportunity with a company. As per the HR, I have been selected for this position, but the salary negotiation is going to last 20 days. Ugh. It's possible they have a bunch of approvals and bureaucracy and paperwork. If you want to stick around till the end, I do it. I mean, I would if I were you. If you really want this role, stick it out. If you're not getting a good feeling, then look at other options at the same time. That's what I would do. But if you like the company, you like the culture so far, watch the salary negotiation. I have like literally a playlist only on salary negotiation on my YouTube channel, because I've done so many live streams and so many videos. I've put them all together, especially for you. So check it out. The question is not, should I do it? The question is, do you want to do it? See what I mean? So yeah, Gurpreet is somebody, I think, Gurpreet, you have experience as well in recruiting, and you know this. This is not spray and pray. It helps absolutely no one, because there's so many times there are positions that are not advertised. That's a really good point. And like I said, those informational chats, interviews, mentors, friends, backdoor, it's expensive, guys. It's expensive to have every single position advertised on LinkedIn or Indeed or Monster. It costs a lot of money and a lot of time and resources to go through hundreds and thousands of applications, which is why sometimes not everything is advertised, right? And that is a great way to um, uh, have those kind of conversations. And like Gurpreet is saying here, you want to become Gurpreet, you and I speak the same language. Clearly, I can see that. You want to be a magnet for the right roles to come to you. You want a combination of inbound inquiries and outreach that you do is done very strategically with the point of who do I know where. So good luck to you. Gurpreet, really appreciate you chipping in. This is really helpful. I've completed all the HR rounds. An offer letter is also received. Of course, you can ask for a salary, Ratna. Of course. Watch out. I'm not saying this is true for you, but watch out. There is a gender trap, and you think, but I should be grateful, because, women have been told to be happy, and particularly in certain cultures we come from. Have a look at my salary negotiation playlist. There'll be so many steps there to help you. And good luck to you, but definitely do not accept without negotiation. At least do your best. All right. Risto. Okay, there's some advice coming as well. You want to be up to date. Yeah, that's a great point. That's an excellent point. Appreciate you being here, Gurpreet. Fantastic. Hey, Roberta. I have been invited to a second face-to-face interview. The first one was a video call, and the hiring manager mentioned they want me to meet the CEO on the day. That is great. That shows they're not wasting time. They're not going to be third, fourth, eighth, ninth. Like, I'm just like sleepy thinking about it. What should I make of it? How do I give a good impression in the fleeting 2 minutes handshakes and small talk? If you guys are doing handshakes, that's so cool. I'm still doing fist bump. And what you want to do is, Roberta, you don't want to overthink it. Okay. You prepare for the second interview. You want to know who you're meeting. Again, I sound like a broken record. If you haven't checked out my YouTube, please do that. I have an entire playlist only on interview preparation. Only on interview preparation. In fact, if you go to LinkedIn, I think you're on LinkedIn right now. Yeah. If you go to LinkedIn 2 weeks ago, right? Just go to LinkedIn and do hashtag Supercharge Fridays. The live stream that I did 2 weeks ago was with a friend of mine, and we talked about interview delivery, powerful interview delivery, but there are many others on my YouTube channel. So prepare for the interview, like really, like seriously, like your life depends on it. And then they'll say, they want you to meet the CEO. Please understand why they're asking you to meet the CEO. The CEO will maybe have an opinion. And if they like you, that is the final blessing. Okay. So, in those 2 minutes, what do you want to do? If you guys are doing handshakes in your country, strong, firm handshakes, smile, nice to meet you, make sure you know the name, pronounce the name correctly. You don't want to, you know, so how long have you been working here? You don't want to do any of that. No small talk necessary. Trust me, they are the ones, there's a good chance they are the ones who are gonna I don't have any water here. They are the ones who are gonna be the one saying something to you. Just answer, just stand. It's all about your delivery that day. It'll be your body language. It'll be very little, but what little bit about what you say. So you want to come across as really confident, smile, pleasant. In 2 minutes, they're not going to be asking you how many tennis balls in a plane. It's going to be a lot more casual than that. So enjoy it. When you're enjoying it, I know it sounds a bit counterintuitive, but there is a way to enjoy interviews when you know you've done the very best. You put your hand on your heart. You're like, this is the very best I could have prepared, and there's nothing more that's lacking. Nothing has been left to fate. The inner original self comes out and it's visible to the other person, and they see a pretty good inkling of what it would be like to work with you. So have fun. All right. Seeing a lot of thank yous. You're very welcome. I appreciate you being here. Hey, Arpit, salary package for some companies for the same work in India versus USA, Canada. Arpit, what's the question? What's the question? I don't really follow here. What is your question? What is the salary? Why is the salary package different? It's different because of different cost of living, I guess, if that's what you mean. Um, who was that lovely girl who asked me, you got to negotiate? Gurpreet is saying, don't miss it, please. Okay, yoga to world. I don't see a question here, so you want to make sure that you have a question. Thank you, Gurpreet. That's a great suggestion. So if you're finding this useful, listen. You've got to show your appreciation. It helps more people when you do that. You click a like, you're putting in comments, share, tag your friend, share it with your friend. If it's on YouTube, hearts, all of that. Why is that? There is so much, like, so many people are miserable in the world. These are free sessions, not charging. I know Gurpreet goes live as well. So this is to help you. And if you want to show really appreciation, let's say you admire someone or you're getting a lot of help, give them a little endorsement on LinkedIn. You can go and see what are the skills that they are known for. Give them a little endorsement. It goes a long way, and it's a very nice surprise for the other person. So many ways to show appreciation, right? It's a combination of being a giver and a taker. You want to not be a giver all the time or a taker all the time. Reaction. I got it. I got it. It's early morning for you, Gurpreet. Appreciate it. I've completed all the rounds and submitted yet to receive an offer. Is it okay to submit documents before? I would say wait. Follow up with them, say what's needed. If they ask you for documents, please share them. Otherwise, I wouldn't jump the gun if I were you. Okay. Okay, 2 minutes. I'm gonna go. Your videos help me a lot. Hey, fantastic, Baron. Thank you so much. I'm glad this has been helpful. There's hundreds of thousands of success stories because of sharing all this information, and I'm very, very happy for you. So well done. You're welcome, Roberta. All right, last question. It's nice that your name starts with a Z or Z. Z if you're in the US. It starts with a Z. I'm Indian. I'm going to say Z because our session is ending A to Z. Okay. Sorry. Oh my God. I have to stretch. Sorry. The company is willing to relocate to a new country, but not willing to pay relocation amount. They're willing to relocate you to the new country. They don't want to. Some do that. You've got to ask for it. You got to build a business case. So, Zamir, going to a new country on your own, it's not a joke, particularly an expensive country. Watch my salary negotiation playlist on my YouTube channel. I literally share everything I know about negotiations in there for free. Please take advantage of it. It's definitely going to help you. Please don't give up without a fight. Please don't give up. Locating to a new country. I can understand maybe within the city they don't have moving new countries and they don't have a budget. I don't know. For me, it's basic respect. I wouldn't. So all the best to you. Abhi, you're very welcome. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being here. This has been hopefully very useful to you. 93 weeks of Friday live streaming on Super Chat Fridays. Happy Halloween if those who are planning to dress up in scary costumes. I shall be here again in London on my holiday next week as well. It's Diwali next week, so I'm gonna maybe dress up a little bit, not too much, not crazy. But those who mark Diwali, those who celebrate Diwali, join me. Put on your Sunday best as well, and take care. And until next time, be safe. Really appreciate you being here.